Well, my mother gave it to me as a wedding present about 20 years ago. And before that, it had been a gift to my mother from her great aunt Helen Hayes. I had a friend who sort of intimated that it was costume jewelry and the stones were glass. And then I showed someone a photograph of it, and they said, well, you know, those stones, I think they're real, and I'll give you $1,000 for it. And I said, it's a family heirloom. I don't think I'd sell it for $1,000.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, because you can't just go out and buy another one that's
Right.
from your family, from Helen Hayes, who is the First Lady of the American Theater.
Yes.
The design is immediately recognizable as a Maltese cross bracelet, a form that became highly influential in the 1930s. This motif is closely linked to Fulco Santo Stefano della Sarda, Duke of Verdura, who began working with Coco Chanel in 1927 and helped redefine her jewelry line. One of his most famous contributions was the Maltese cross cuff, worn frequently by Chanel and widely documented in period portraits. Jewelry from Chanel in the 1930s was rarely signed, which explains the absence of a maker's mark on this piece and is fully consistent with its era. What makes this bracelet exceptional is that it is not costume jewelry. It is crafted in sterling silver with ivory-toned enamel and accented with yellow gold. The Maltese cross is set with real gemstones, including cabochon emeralds, sugarloaf amethyst, aquamarines, sapphires, diamonds, and rubies. The use of genuine stones places this piece among the rarest examples associated with Verdura's early Chanel designs. Taken together, the design, materials, and historical timing strongly support its identification as a Verdura for Chanel bracelet from the 1930s.
In 1931 and 1932, Helen actually did a film called Aerosmith for United Artists in 1931. So having the provenance, being as rare as it is from the 1930s, and having all real stones, we think a very conservative auction estimate would be at least $100,000 to $150,000.
Goodness. Oh, my word. What a treasure. What a treasure. And to think it's been to my 3rd grade show and tell class.
Couldn't be happier, because this is probably one of my favorite things I've ever done on the roadshow.
I inherited it from my father because he inherited it from his great auntie. We were told it's a Cartier bracelet, but I don't know. It's beautiful. I love it. Reminds me of her. When she passed away, somebody had it appraised for the estate, and I believe they appraised it around $9,000.
Cartier was one of the most influential high jewelry houses of the early 20th century, renowned for combining technical precision with bold modern design. The bracelet exemplifies these qualities through its slightly tapered silhouette, strong geometric structure, and carefully balanced proportions that allow it to curve naturally over the wrist. The design features classic Art Deco elements, including trapezoidal and pear-shaped sections arranged in a rhythmic, architectural pattern. Although the bracelet is fully flexible, its subtle curvature demonstrates advanced engineering, ensuring it sits correctly and comfortably when worn. The craftsmanship is further revealed on the reverse, where the settings are square and precisely cut by hand, allowing light to pass through the diamonds while also making the bracelet visually refined from every angle. The bracelet is set with approximately 180 diamonds, totaling about 15 carats. These include several substantial stones, notably old mine and old European cut diamonds weighing up to 3/4 of a carat, combined with smaller diamonds that taper in harmony with the bracelet's form. The presence of both the correct Cartier block signature and internal workshop numbers confirms its authenticity.
I would say that this bracelet, easily, because of the Cartier name and the strong Art Deco influences, $40,000 to $60,000.
No way.
This would insure for $100,000.
No. It would insure for $100,000.
Right.
Okay. Seriously?
Cat got your tongue?
Well, thank
Nice,
you. I
nice.
love it. It's awesome.
Well, it was my mother's bracelet. She took me to the jewelry store in the early 60s. She's a widowed lady, and she bought it for herself.
And was this a special occasion, or did you just buy it because?
She decided that's what she wanted.
And have you ever worn it?
Yes, I have. My sisters have worn it. We've all worn it at our children's weddings.
Oh, wonderful.
Based on its design, materials, and construction, this bracelet is a representative example of American fine jewelry from the mid-1960s. Although it is unsigned, the style and workmanship strongly suggest it was made in the United States, most likely New York, which was a major jewelry center at the time. The piece reflects the period's preference for clean geometry, balanced proportions, and refined brilliance rather than heavy ornamentation. The bracelet is crafted entirely in platinum, a metal favored in the 1960s for its strength and its ability to enhance the whiteness and sparkle of diamonds. Its design combines 3 diamond cuts characteristic of the era. Marquise-cut diamonds introduce elongated, dynamic shapes. Baguette diamonds provide crisp, architectural lines, and round, brilliant cut diamonds fill the composition, creating visual continuity. The diamonds are well matched in color and clarity, giving the bracelet a cohesive and luminous appearance. With an estimated total diamond weight of about 15 carats, this is a substantial and luxurious piece. Preserved as a complete bracelet, it retains far greater artistic and historical value than it would if altered or divided.
I did a quick carat weight, and it's coming up at about 15 carats of diamonds total, which is a really significant carat weight. And do you remember what your mother bought the bracelet for when she took you out shopping?
She bought it for $10,000.
$10,000. Well, you know, if you were to insure this now, I would probably suggest a value of at least $50,000.
Oh, okay. Yep. That's why we keep it in a safe. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you for bringing it.
You made my day.
Oh, that's what I like to hear.
Thank you.
It's done by Charles Loloma, who is a Hopi artist, Hopi jeweler. I was with my mother in the early to mid 80s in Santa Fe when she bought it. There was a Charles Loloma show, and Mother had always wanted a piece of his jewelry, and so we went to the show and she bought this.
And he was there?
He was there. I met him.
Yeah.
Sort of a little short man.
Yeah. He was born in 21, so he would have been in his late 60s.
Probably, yeah, because I think he died in 91.
91, yeah.
The bracelet exemplifies Loloma's signature inlay technique, which required extraordinary labor and precision. He personally cut and shaped each stone, including lapis lazuli, turquoise, Mediterranean red coral, and deeply saturated amethyst. These stones were carefully fitted together on a flat surface, then subtly curved, ground, and finished so that the seams align seamlessly. The inlay is set into 14-karat gold, creating a vivid contrast between the rich colors of the stones and the warmth of the metal. Unlike his earlier, more restrained sand-cast works that often featured a single stone, this bracelet represents the height of Loloma's complex, multi-stone compositions. It reflects his mastery as both a lapidarist and a designer, blending traditional materials with a bold, modern aesthetic. Signed with his hallmark from this period, the bracelet stands as a mature and iconic example of his artistic vision, emphasizing innovation, craftsmanship, and sculptural presence.
If this piece came up for sale at auction, I think it would easily bring 40 to 50,000 and perhaps as high as 55,000.
Oh my.
It's just fabulous. It's the top of his work.
I knew it was a wonderful piece. I didn't realize that it had appreciated that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's gorgeous. I love it.
My husband gave it to me probably in the 80s, not for an occasion. He didn't always buy a card or give a gift on occasion, but he would come home with something nice.
Did he give you a lot of jewelry?
3 or 4 pieces that are nice.
So he wouldn't always make the holiday, but he'd make up for it later?
Right.
Well, this is a pretty good way to make up for a holiday.
I'll say.
It's a diamond and sapphire bracelet, and it's set in platinum. That's what the white metal is. The diamonds are really, really beautiful. It's a mix of 3 different shapes.
This bracelet is a refined diamond and sapphire piece crafted in platinum, a metal commonly chosen for high-end jewelry because of its durability and its ability to enhance the brilliance of gemstones. The design incorporates 3 distinct diamond cuts: round, brilliant diamonds, marquise-cut diamonds with pointed ends, and rectangular baguette-cut diamonds. These are carefully arranged alongside sapphires to create a repeating pattern that visually resembles stylized floral forms. The sapphires display a deep, vivid blue considered ideal for fine sapphire jewelry, while the diamonds are bright, white, and well-matched. The total diamond weight is estimated at around 20 carats, indicating both significant intrinsic value and a high level of craftsmanship. An examination of the clasp reveals a signature confirming that the bracelet is by Tiffany Co. The quality of the stones, the precision of the settings, and the overall design suggest a piece made in the 1960s. These characteristics support its identification as a fine example of mid-20th century platinum jewelry, combining elegance, substantial gemstone weight, and meticulous construction.
Do you have any idea how much you paid for it?
No.
Okay. Have you ever had it appraised before?
No. One time I took it into the Tiffany store in Nashville. In order to appraise it, they were going to send it to New York, and I didn't want it on my hands.
I would expect that this bracelet would bring probably between $40,000 and $50,000 at auction.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. Awesome. Back in the lockbox.
You should wear it. Enjoy it.
I wear it on special occasions.
For a number of years, my parents collected jewelry from the Southwest. And these are 2 Charles Loloma pieces that I believe they got in the early 70s through the Heard Museum.
What do you think those cost back then?
And we actually have the receipts. So that it was under $200 per piece.
These 2 bracelets are early works by Charles Loloma, one of the most influential Native American jewelers of the 20th century. Loloma was a Hopi artist from Third Mesa on the Hopi Reservation in Arizona, born in 1921 and active during a period when American Indian jewelry was undergoing a profound transformation. Trained as a modernist silversmith, he broke away from strictly traditional forms and introduced abstraction, texture, and sculptural thinking into his designs. His work is often regarded as foundational, earning him the reputation as the godfather of modern American Indian jewelry. The bracelets were made in the early phase of his career, using tufa stone casting, a technique that employs soft sandstone molds carved by hand. One bracelet is a simple band focused on surface texture, while the other suggests an abstracted landscape with a strong sense of flow and movement. These restrained designs reflect an inherently Hopi aesthetic, emphasizing balance and natural rhythm. Later in his career, Loloma would create larger, more complex pieces with turquoise, coral, ironwood, gold, and sugilite, but collectors often value this early period for its purity and clarity of vision. Signed, documented, and well-preserved, these bracelets exemplify Loloma's creativity and lasting influence on modern jewelry.
I would venture to say that in today's market, this bracelet alone, probably in the retail marketplace, about $25,000.
Whoa.
This bracelet,
wow,
maybe a little more. Like, why? Because people like turquoise. A really great example of his restraint and creativity, $28,000.
Wow.
So,
yeah. So my parents did very well when they purchased these back in the 70s. I mean, they're beautiful pieces.
I just loved jewelry and went down south to the Galleria Capistrano with my friend one day and saw the small bracelet and loved it, so I bought it. And I really love this one, but I had to bring my husband back to insist that I buy it, and he did.
So you acquired them at the same time?
About a week apart, yes.
And that was in what year?
1981.
And purchased these at that
Well,
time?
he had this in silver, and I wanted it in gold, so they made it in gold for me.
These bracelets are works by Charles Loloma and represent his modernist approach to American Indian jewelry. Created in the early 1980s, they exemplify a sculptural style that emphasizes form, balance, and material rather than overt decoration. One bracelet was originally made in silver and later recreated in gold, reflecting both technical precision and adaptability in execution. The design relies on strong, confident shapes with smooth contours and carefully controlled proportions. Surface texture plays a key role, giving the metal a sense of depth and movement without overwhelming the overall composition. Instead of heavy ornamentation, the bracelets focus on purity of form, allowing the metal itself to carry visual weight. This approach transforms the pieces into wearable sculpture, where jewelry functions not merely as adornment, but as an artistic statement grounded in craftsmanship and modern aesthetics.
These pieces on today's marketplace in a auction setting, for this particular one, the smaller one, I think we're conservative in saying it would sell for about $28,000 on today's market.
Oh my goodness.
And the other piece, probably in the $40,000 marketplace.
Oh, that's interesting.
I know that pieces have sold in retail shops for as much as $80,000.
I received these as a gift from my mother-in-law, who received them as a gift from her mother-in-law. My grandparents-in-law were very active in the Hopi reservations in Arizona. They sponsored children's education and that kind of thing during the early 70s, late 60s. And during that period of time, they befriended an artist by the name of Charles Loloma. My husband's grandfather purchased these two bracelets for his grandmother. She gave them to her daughter-in-law, and actually, I have to confess, my mother-in-law gave them to my daughter, but I didn't trust her with them, so I took them from her.
These two bracelets are representative works by Charles Loloma, a Hopi artist active in Arizona during the 1970s and a leading figure in modern American Indian jewelry. Created using a distinctive sand casting technique, the bracelets were formed by carving channels into soft stone, pouring molten silver or gold into the mold, and then bending the cast metal into shape. This process gives the surfaces a sculptural quality and organic texture, emphasizing form over ornament. Unlike many of Loloma's later works that feature complex stone inlay, these bracelets rely primarily on metal, with turquoise used sparingly to accent the design. Their restrained composition highlights balance, rhythm, and surface depth, reflecting both Hopi cultural sensibilities and modernist aesthetics. More than decorative objects, the bracelets function as wearable sculpture, embodying a transitional moment when Native American jewelry moved decisively into the realm of contemporary art, while remaining rooted in tradition.
Walk into a gallery, try to buy one of these, $20,000, $40,000.
Holy moly!
Yeah, nice.
Oh my goodness! The little one's $20,000?
Yeah. A similar one to this in silver recently sold for about $22,000.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I've knocked it down a little bit because this one's slightly plainer.
Wow. Wow, and you know, we just stumbled across the receipt recently because we're moving my mother-in-law and we were packing her house, and we just found this receipt like 3 weeks ago.
Don't lose it.
I won't.
It's as important as the bracelets.
Wow, I didn't expect to hear that.
My father presented my mother with a diamond bracelet that was yay wide. And she thanked him very much, but told him she would never wear it. And so he took it back, and he had another one made for her that was narrower. And she said, I will keep it in the safe deposit box. I'm not going to wear it.
She was really particular.
Well, she didn't want to flaunt things. He then had this bracelet made for her, and he said to her when he gave it to her, "This one you cannot return. I have had it made just for you." And of course she loved it, and why not? It's beautiful.
This bracelet was created in New York in 1939, firmly within the late Art Deco period, and was custom-made rather than produced by a signed house. Its inscription on the interior, engraved with a personal dedication and date, confirms its bespoke nature. The construction is gold, with bold fluted sides typical of deco design, enriched by platinum settings that highlight an elaborate series of multicolored charms. The bracelet stands out for both its scale and narrative complexity. At nearly 1 3/4 inches wide, it far exceeds the usual proportions of charm bracelets from this era. Each charm is finely executed and symbolic. A basket, a walking man with a dog, a clown, a woman pushing a baby carriage with movable wheels, a Viking ship, and a lighthouse. Several charms are set with exceptional gemstones, including rare star rubies of deep red color, along with high-quality diamonds, sapphires, emeralds, and carved stones. The precision of the settings and the playful yet refined themes reflect the highest level of craftsmanship.
The price on this bracelet in today's market is very strong because it's very collectible. A piece like this would sell retail somewhere between $30,000 and $40,000.
Wow. What?
The bracelet can be identified as an English piece from the late 19th century, most likely dating to around 1870, 1880. The snake form is a key indicator, as serpent jewelry was especially popular in Victorian England, where it symbolized eternity, wisdom, and protection. The execution of the coiled body, which appears fluid and naturally articulated around the wrist, reflects advanced goldsmithing techniques typical of that period. The bracelet is made of high-quality gold, very likely 18 karat, a standard favored by English jewelers for fine work. The diamonds are well matched and of strong quality, but the focal point is the large central sapphire. Its deep, saturated blue tone, enhanced by a gold setting that intensifies color, suggests a cashmere sapphire, regarded as the most prestigious variety. Such stones were rarely used and indicate a commission of considerable importance.
This was my grandmother's. My mom received it when I was about 12, and then I received it from my mom when I was about 35. And I took it to a jeweler and tried to get it appraised, and I had noticed that it said Marcus and Company on the back.
Right.
And I thought back then it was part of Neiman Marcus.
Right.
Marcus & Company was one of the prominent American jewelry firms operating in Manhattan in the early 20th century, founded by a father and son and known for refined craftsmanship and sophisticated design. Active during the height of the Art Deco era, the firm embraced bold geometry, rich color, and luxurious materials that reflected both modern taste and European influence of the period. This jewel is a clear product of that moment. It is crafted in platinum and set with brilliant cut diamonds, a hallmark of high-quality Art Deco jewelry. The most distinctive feature is the use of carved emeralds in the tutti frutti style, a decorative approach inspired by Indian and Mughal carving traditions that became highly fashionable in the 1920s and 1930s. While tutti frutti designs continue to be reproduced today, original examples from this era are especially sought after.
I believe now that if you were to have this in a nice high-end retail jewelry store, it'd be around $25,000. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic news. I love it.
I love to see that big smile.
I just love it.
These were my mother's bracelets, and they were made many years ago. She knew David Webb. He designed these specially for her, And what's really interesting is all the diamonds come from bracelets and jewelry of her mother's. So it's like 3 generations. The bracelet makes into a necklace, and she wore it quite often. I've worn it for very special occasions.
These bracelets were designed by David Webb, one of the most influential American jewelers of the 20th century, and were most likely created in New York during the 1960s. Webb was renowned for working closely with private clients and for reusing heirloom gemstones, a practice that aligns precisely with this commission, in which diamonds from earlier generations were incorporated into a new design. This approach gives the pieces both emotional depth and a sense of historical continuity. The bracelets are crafted in 18-karat gold with a highly distinctive textured surface that resembles tree bark, a signature David Webb aesthetic emphasizing sculptural form and bold presence. The diamonds are set in platinum and arranged in a graduated pattern, rising toward the center and stepping down toward the edges, which creates movement and visual balance. Technically, the bracelets are engineered to be worn separately or joined together, allowing them to transform into a dramatic, snake-like necklace or a single, powerful bracelet.
Just to tell you, we did the diamond weight. You're probably at 10 carats for both of these.
Wow.
And I would say, in a retail setting, you are looking at $20,000 to $30,000.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if that's what you were expecting.
I had no idea.
It's a bracelet that I have played with ever since I was 6 years old. It was my mom's. She gave it to me to play dress up with all these years, and I kept it. And I just thought it was really a cool looking bracelet.
Well, you're right about that. Where did she get it? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. She doesn't remember where she got it. She remembers that it was a favorite bracelet of hers.
This bracelet is a rare modernist cuff known as the modernette, created in the late 1940s by Art Smith, one of the most important figures in American modernist jewelry. Made in copper and brass rather than the more common silver, the piece exemplifies Smith's sculptural approach, treating jewelry as wearable art rather than simple adornment. Its bold, flowing form wraps around the wrist with a sense of movement and balance that reflects the modern art ideals of the post-war period. Art Smith was born in Cuba and later moved to Brooklyn, New York, before establishing himself in Greenwich Village, a major center of avant-garde culture in the 1940s and 1950s. As an Afro-Cuban-American artist, he brought a distinctive visual language to jewelry design, blending modern abstraction with organic rhythm. His work was sold by Bloomingdale's, worn by cultural figures such as Eleanor Roosevelt and Duke Ellington, and featured in leading publications including Harper's Bazaar and Vogue. Signed discreetly on the interior, this bracelet stands as a significant and highly collectible example of mid-20th century modernist design.
If I were to put an auction estimate on it now, I would be very comfortable with $15,000 to $25,000.
Oh my goodness. Okay. My mom's going to be so excited, and so am I, but she's going to be amazed.
This is my great-grandfather, and he was Bishop of Peterborough and Archbishop of York, and he had this bracelet made for his wife. It follows the verses in the Bible, in the book of Revelations, about the city of God. The foundations are each decorated with a different stone. It starts with jasper and sapphire and goes on. The gates of the city are a single pearl, and the streets are paved in gold, and he used that as the theme to have this bracelet.
So it's clearly something that we thought about quite a bit, and it was a special order.
Yeah.
The bracelet can be identified as having been commissioned and made in England through a combination of stylistic evidence, materials, and maker's marks rather than personal ownership history. The overall design reflects late 19th century English revivalist jewelry, a movement that favored historical references, intellectual symbolism, and meticulous craftsmanship. The engraved initials CAG on the clasp are a key indicator, corresponding to Carlo Giuliano and his sons Carlo and Arthur Giuliano, a celebrated family of jewelers working in London. Their workshop was known for Renaissance revival and archaeological revival pieces that combined scholarly themes with exceptional technical execution. The bracelet is crafted in 18-karat yellow gold and follows a highly structured symbolic program derived from the Book of Revelation. Each section represents the foundations of the city of God, described in Scripture as being adorned with different precious stones. The bracelet incorporates jasper, sapphire, emerald, sardonyx, topaz, beryl, chrysoprase, and amethyst, forming a deliberate sequence that mirrors the biblical text. Small natural pearls are discreetly set into the design, referencing the description of the city's gates formed from single pearls rather than cultured ones.
In the jewelry world, at auction, this would be $15,000 to $20,000 today.
Well, that's more than I expected.
Is it? Yeah?
Oh, yes. It's lovely and I've worn it, but it's the family connection that means a lot.
The bracelet was a wedding present from my husband's family. We got married 27 years ago, and it came from his aunt who brought it to the United States in the late 30s from Germany. This is my husband's grandmother and his great-grandmother and his great-great-grandmother, and this is his father's oldest brother.
And the family was a prominent family.
Yes, they were a Frankfurt banking family. They had a summer house outside of Frankfurt. Their next-door neighbors were the Rothschilds.
Oh, I see. So it was a great neighborhood.
This bracelet is a fine example of early 20th century European high jewelry, most likely made in Germany between about 1910 and 1918. Although unsigned, its craftsmanship and materials strongly point to a leading continental workshop working at the transition from the Edwardian period into early Art Deco. The piece reflects the refined taste of affluent Central European banking families of the era, particularly those centered in Frankfurt. The bracelet is constructed around a substantial yellow gold band, while the decorative elements are formed as flowing, vine-like motifs in platinum. These platinum sections are set with diamonds and pearls, probably natural, and accented by exceptionally well-matched Burmese rubies. The jointed construction gives the bracelet remarkable flexibility, allowing it to move fluidly on the wrist, a hallmark of elite jewelry from this transitional period. Stylistically, the design combines Edwardian elegance, seen in the light, organic platinum work, with emerging Art Deco structure and clarity. The quality of the rubies, the harmony of the materials, and the technical precision of the setting all indicate a piece that was expensive and prestigious even when first made, embodying both luxury and sophisticated European design.
It has everything going for it. If I had to insure it, I would put probably $20,000 on it, because I don't think you could find one.
Wow.
And certainly not with the whole story. So I'm glad you came.
Said I was going to try not to cry.
Don't know. You don't have to be happy.
I didn't realize they were rubies. We always thought they were amethysts.
Oh, no, no. These are not amethysts.
I know.
My aunts and uncles had a farm near New Paltz, New York, and it's alleged that my Aunt Kitty worked for one of the Rockefellers in New York, and the note that came with this said it may be a gift from him to her. I got it from my mother, who got it from my aunt, maybe in the 30s would be my guess. So.
This charm bracelet reflects refined New York jewelry taste of the early 20th century. The bracelet is made of 14-karat white gold and carries 13 charms, most crafted in platinum and set with diamonds, with selective enamel details. Its materials and style place it around the 1930s, when charm bracelets were popular as both luxury accessories and personal statements. 4 charms, including a fish, bird, penguin, and cat, are attributed to Raymond Yard, a respected New York jeweler celebrated for elegant animal motifs and precise platinum work. These pieces are especially valued for their sculptural clarity and fine balance. Another notable charm is a small pig carved from coral and topped with a diamond-set bail, a design closely associated with Cartier's playful yet sophisticated animal jewelry of the same era. Rather than a single author work, the bracelet is a carefully assembled group. Its importance lies in the combination of leading makers, diverse techniques such as enameling, stone carving, and diamond setting, and the harmonious way these elements come together in one wearable object representing elite jewelry design of its time.
In a well-advertised auction, especially with the Raymond Yard and the Cartier connections, I think we're looking at about $18,000 to $22,000.
Well, thank you. It's a bit of a surprise to me, so I'm aghast. So.
These bracelets were given to me after my grandmother died. I do remember them as a child. She would take them out and we would play with them. We called them Shazam bracelets. But after she died, I was given a letter that said these bracelets were given to my grandmother by my grandmother's aunt, who was a friend of the last Queen of Hawaii.
And you have a lot of papers and letters that corroborate that story as well. And when did she acquire them?
Sometime after 1891. My grandmother's mother was a harpist at some sort of event in Boston, so maybe the Queen was at that event.
Most likely, yeah.
Based on their form and construction, these bracelets are late Victorian pieces dating to around 1870 to 1880. They are hollow, high-carat gold bracelets decorated with classic tassel motifs, a style widely worn in the period. The gold has developed a soft, natural patina over time, which is highly valued and should be preserved. Although there are minor surface scratches, there are no dents, an impressive condition for hollow gold jewelry of this age. The clasp is marked Patent 1870, a detail commonly seen on American jewelry mechanisms, suggesting they were made in the United States. The absence of a maker's mark is typical for pieces of this era. Historical references align closely with the design. Queen Liliuokalani, the last reigning queen of Hawaii from 1891 to 1893, was frequently photographed wearing multiple Victorian gold bracelets stacked along her arms. Records indicate she traveled through the United States, including San Francisco, Boston, and New York, and also visited London earlier, any of which could have been opportunities to acquire such jewelry. The American patent marking supports the likelihood of U.S. manufacture.
They're in great shape, and a lot of times these are broken up, so to have them as a pair together in very good condition is really unusual. With your paperwork that backs up the story that it did belong to her, and the Collectors of Hawaiiana is a very strong field. So I would say for insurance values, you'd be looking at anywhere between $10,000 and $12,000 for the pair.
Okay.
This bracelet was initially bought by my great-grandmother somewhere in the early 1900s. I believe it to be Italian in origin, and that's about all I know about it.
This is probably one of the best charm bracelets I have ever encountered in my career, quite honestly.
This bracelet is an outstanding example of early 20th century Italian jewelry, distinguished by its authorship and exceptional craftsmanship. Several of its three-dimensional charms are signed G. Nardi, a renowned Venetian goldsmith family active since the early 1900s and celebrated for refined handwork and sculptural precision. The charms function as miniature works of art, not simple ornaments. Among the most remarkable pieces are charms depicting famous European landmarks. One opens to reveal a finely crafted gold diorama of Venice's Grand Canal, showing depth and architectural rhythm within a tiny space. Another represents the central doorway of St. Mark's Basilica, set with sapphires and containing an interior element inspired by the Lion of St. Mark. Additional charms reference locations such as Lisbon and Spain, each executed with extraordinary detail. The bracelet itself is handmade in 18-karat gold and stylistically aligns with mid-20th century design, likely from the 1950s. Overall, the piece reflects a period when charm jewelry combined travel, architecture, and storytelling with the highest level of goldsmithing.
If you had to go into the marketplace, if you could find them today, these would typically be anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000 a charm. These two charms down here in the $1,500 to $2,000 range, and then you've got the bracelet as well. So the insurance value would be between $8,000 to $10,000.
Holy moly, wow.
There aren't that many charms that I go crazy for and that I get excited for, but these two especially, the Nardi charms, they are really the finest charms I've ever seen.
Fantastic.
This was a cuff bracelet. It came from my grandfather. He was working in a trading post called Rough Rock on the Navajo reservation in Arizona. This is something that was left, and he ended up keeping it after it wasn't picked up. I actually lived in the house behind the trading post, and I spent a lot of time in the vaults looking at all this gorgeous jewelry.
This cuff bracelet is an early example of Navajo jewelry from the Navajo reservation in Arizona, created for personal use rather than commercial sale. It is formed from heavy sterling silver into a wide cuff, emphasizing weight and presence, qualities valued in traditional Navajo adornment. The surface decoration was executed with simple, improvised tools, sometimes adapted from metal files, producing engraved linear patterns that highlight handwork and texture over perfect symmetry. What distinguishes this bracelet is the inclusion of gold elements, including natural gold nuggets and 3 United States gold coins. These consist of an 1856 $3 gold coin designed by James B. Longacre, a 1912 $5 Indian head coin by Bella Lyon Pratt, and a 1916 $20 gold piece by Augustus St. Gaudens. Gold coins of this size are extremely rare in early Native American jewelry. The combination of silver, gold nuggets, and monumental coinage reflects a powerful integration of available materials, making this bracelet an exceptional example of indigenous craftsmanship from the early 20th century.
It's very unusual to find gold coins, especially of this size and this age, in early American Indian jewelry. You just don't see it that much. This is one of the greatest examples of a particular cuff bracelet like this that I've ever seen. I think a bracelet like this would be worth, at auction, in the neighborhood of $7,000 to $9,000.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, it belonged to my grandfather's mother, I believe, and my grandmother gave it to me before she died. My grandmother always called it costume jewelry.
I see. It's not costume jewelry. It's actually quite a lovely piece. Do you have an idea of when it's from?
It's dated 1885.
This piece is a finely crafted jewel made in 14-karat gold and set with an array of tourmalines in green, pink, and yellow tones, possibly accompanied by a peridot. These colored stones are rhythmically separated by old mine-cut diamonds whose soft facets create a warm, antique brilliance. The combination of vivid gemstones and early diamond cuts is highly characteristic of the late Victorian period, when designers moved beyond monochrome designs toward richer visual palettes. The jewel bears the mark Jacques and Marcus, one of the early forms of Marcus & Company. The firm was founded by Hermann Marcus, a German-trained jeweler who worked for Tiffany Company before establishing his own workshop in the United States with his sons. Marcus & Company became known for refined craftsmanship and sophisticated gemstone compositions.
I think that at auction we would safely put an auction estimate of around $6,000 to $8,000 on that piece. So again, good thing you didn't let that go for just the gold one.
Exactly. I bought this bracelet in a little, what I guess I would call a bric-a-brac shop in Salem, Massachusetts.
How long ago?
Oh, about 10 years ago.
Do you remember what you paid for it?
Not exactly, but probably $900 to $1,000, somewhere in that.
Persian turquoise is the visual focus of this bracelet, distinguished by its intense robin's egg blue color. Historically prized for its purity and saturation, Persian turquoise often darkens over time due to oils and environmental exposure. In this piece, however, the stones remain exceptionally vibrant, indicating high quality. They are cut as buff tops, softly rounded with subtle peaks that enhance both color depth and sculptural softness. The turquoise is set within an elegant Victorian design crafted in 18-karat yellow gold. Although hollow, the bracelet is made with thick walls, giving it strength and durability. At the center of the star motif is an old mine-cut diamond, complemented by rose-cut diamonds repeated throughout the design. A fine line of black enamel frames the stones, adding contrast and revealing careful attention to detail. While Victorian in style, close analysis of the construction and hardware suggests French manufacture. A discreet thumbnail hinge opens to reveal an unused hidden locket, intended for a personal portrait, completing a bracelet that combines gemstone excellence, refined engineering, and decorative sophistication.
I would say at auction, this would easily be in a range of $6,000 to $8,000.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
It's been in my husband's family. His aunt passed away about 25 years ago, and she didn't have any children, so everything was passed down to her nieces and nephews. Everyone got to pick something they loved, and I love turquoise and gold and diamonds together, and so we were given this bracelet.
This bracelet is made entirely of 18-karat yellow gold, with substantial weight that immediately conveys durability and luxury, and its construction is consistent with high-quality French jewelry of the mid-20th century. The design centers on fluted turquoise beads, carved with ridged, sculptural surfaces that create depth and visual rhythm. Running through the center of each turquoise element is a fine beaded, or hobnail, rim, adding refined decorative detail on a small scale. The gold surfaces feature a Florentine finish, a textured technique widely used in French ateliers during the 1950s and early 1960s, created with specialized lining tools to produce a soft, matte shimmer. Diamond rondelles further enhance the bracelet, set with a total of 99 diamonds weighing approximately 3 carats. These elements are linked by a foxtail chain, a tightly woven structure valued in French high jewelry for both strength and elegance. The clasp is stamped "Made in France," supporting a dating of around 1955 to 1965. Although unsigned, the bracelet displays stylistic and technical qualities closely associated with Van Cleef and Arpels, suggesting the work of an elite French workshop.
That are not signed by a particular jewelry maker, but they did make them. Things did get out unsigned. There's a strong chance this could be VCA, Van Cleef and Arpels. It has that look. It has all those elements. It has the quality.
Really?
In the trade, we will submit it for authentication, which right now is 25% of the cost of the piece, and there's no guarantee. But let's say we sent it to them and it came back and it was authenticated as being theirs. The value would change and it could easily double to $15,000 to $20,000. But that's a big if. You do wear it sometimes.
I wore it yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I went to a garage sale and I was looking for costume jewelry because I make magnets out of it and what have you. There was a box of costume jewelry, which I purchased for $15, but this bracelet just didn't fit into my scheme of things, so it was just kind of thrown in the bottom of one of my drawers and forgotten about for 20 years. My son has been into collecting gold. He looked at it and he said, It is 14 karat gold.
The most striking elements of this bracelet are the English rock crystal panels. These panels are carved from the reverse side of clear quartz crystal and then meticulously reverse painted by hand using extremely fine brushes. To intensify the color and luminosity, each crystal is backed with mother of pearl, allowing the imagery to appear vivid and dimensional when viewed from the front. Some minor water damage is visible on one panel, but the bezels are designed to open, making careful restoration possible. The bracelet is signed Yard, referring to Raymond C. Yard, a highly respected American jeweler. Yard began his career at Marcus & Company in New York, later opening his own boutique on Fifth Avenue in 1922. He was known for custom commissions and for incorporating European elements, such as English reverse-painted crystals, into sophisticated American designs. This bracelet reflects Yard's signature approach, combining technical skill, artistic storytelling, and elite craftsmanship.
At an auction, I figured this would go in the catalog for $6,000 to $8,000.
Oh my gosh.
But certainly, by the time it gets to the retail market, and say it was sold on Fifth Avenue again, like it probably originally was,
yeah.
A piece like this would easily be $15,000.
Oh my goodness. I guess I better start wearing this thing.
It's fun. Maybe you'll grow to like it.
I hope so. I'm liking it more and more.
I brought today a bracelet that was my grandmother's. I was the firstborn granddaughter, grandchild, and my grandfather always bought the best for his bride. And this was something that she cherished and she wore all the time. I know that it came from the Cartier store, probably in Birmingham, Michigan somewhere, because they lived there for a number of years. When they passed, this was handed down to me.
This bracelet is a classic and highly wearable design, distinguished by its use of tricolor gold and its understated yet iconic aesthetic. The construction combines rose gold on the upper surface, white gold through the center, and yellow gold along the base, creating depth and visual contrast without relying on gemstones. The proportions are balanced, the form is smooth and solid, and the bracelet is designed to sit comfortably on the wrist, making it suitable for both everyday wear and more formal occasions. Inside, it is stamped Cartier and 750, indicating 18-karat gold, while the paired C motifs on either side represent the recognizable double C symbol associated with Cartier. This style is no longer in current production, and its design language points to a piece made approximately 50 years ago, aligning with mid-20th century luxury jewelry trends that emphasized timeless form over ornament.
Do you have any idea on its value? I wouldn't even begin to guess. I have never even crossed the line of a Cartier store.
I would say a conservative auction estimate would be between $3,000 and $5,000.
Hey, that's wonderful. Yeah. And it's more to my heart too, but that's a great, great thing to know.